Howdy y'all, I am Ice Gold, and I guess I've got a bittersweet video to make today. So, I'm in the arena for the first time in probably months, and of course I'm not in queue, as you can no doubt tell, but there's been talk about, like, oh, are the devs going to retire PvP? Are they just going to remove ranked at some point? Because the game has been going downhill significantly. And the answer is no, they are not going to be taking away ranked PvP. They're not going to be removing it in any sense, but sometimes you wonder if they should. And the reason why I say that is because it is almost midnight Central Standard Time, but if I look at the Premier League queue, there is one match going on, and this is actually just every queue, just in general, and this is 150. Why am I saying 150? This is 550 rank apart in a balance mirror. Yeah. This is, I mean, I know Lexi, but this is, yeah, wow. This is the only match that is going on right now, and I don't really know how else to say it necessarily. I don't know if any of the other people in that lobby there were in queue. I mean, there's people here. There's people just in the vicinity, but it's like, if I look at the ranked queue, there is one match going on. So it's like, you wonder what all these people are doing, right? But I think the fact of the matter is, there's just no content left. And updates, are slow. And updates are bad, usually. And, I mean, we've just been in the same meta for months now, since Darkmoor came out. With only a couple minor changes, that of course being, S'more Machine, the shadow version, was doing excessive amounts of upfront damage upon launch, and then I believe it was late January, so, it took them 3 months to finally tweak that, but now it's a quadruple dot that does, I think, even more, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, it's pretty bad. That's kind of been the only meaningful change that has happened since Darkmoor. Because, well, okay, there is one more change. And I will say that the Darkmoor meta has been thoroughly unappealing to me, and is why I have not played since that update came out. I did a lot of 170 PvP, had videos stockpiled through till the end of 2025, but have not posted another PvP video since, outside of my 100 games of ice video, but that was again all 170 and recorded before the update. So this has kind of been the constant for a while. Updates are slow and updates are bad, and now there's this game-breaking issue with Diego. As you saw when I went to spectate the match, there was a little timer just in the center of my screen, as opposed to on the other side, or I guess up in the corners when I would spectate. And that timer is how much longer the match has before Diego the Duel Master comes in and declares a winner. And he is very, against healing, but there's always been ways to game him when he was around in the past. There's ways to game him again today. I think, there was something where, as long as you just spam a lot of dots, you can heal. and because Diego will like it, because it's more hits being split up, which can counteract any sort of negative karma you get with him or whatever by healing. So this type of thing has kind of put the lower damage schools just on the back burner, as, in the sense that the school of ice, for example, is just not viable in the game right now, just like I thought it wouldn't be, of course. But it's like these lower damage schools are just not playable anymore. And then there's Storm, which is also unplayable. Storm, I've heard, is the worst school in the game right now, just again because of the stat differences and how that has been going on. But it doesn't look good for PvP, and you start to wonder, should it all just be shut down? Should ranked PvP be shut down? Because all that's really left is, I mean, like, I don't know how else to describe it. I mean, there's a lot of toxic people left in the arena and the queue and whatnot, but I guess they don't really have anyone to be toxic to anymore. It's all kind of the same circle jerk that's been around for years at this point. But another big thing is that it is constantly bleeding players. Only the most hardcore of players are going to even attempt to get into PvP because, you know, the barrier to entry goes up with every update, right? But I mean, the game is just hemorrhaging players, and there's no more content creators for the game. I mean, like, myself and Liam quit around the Darkmoor update. Liam has, you know, attempted to come back once or twice and hasn't been able to stick with it. Quit again as recently as last week, and this time I think he's going to stick to it because, you know, Sauce started beef with him after, like, you know, 7 months of not streaming PvP. Speaking of Sauce, like I said, he has not streamed PvP for 7 months. He was the biggest PvP streamer, and he did PvP every single night, but ever since he has quit doing that, like, you would think, oh, you know, maybe some other PvP streamer is going to pop in and sort of take up that mantle and then sort of get the audience that watches Sauce's streams for PvP. But that never happened. Bobcat was the one person to come the closest. He actually did average pretty good numbers for a time when he was streaming. I think he got bigger on TikTok, as a matter of fact. But Bobcat was sort of the only content creator left in the PvP space after Darkmoor came out, and even he has gone on hiatus a couple of times. I think he's currently in one right now. I don't know when he'll come back. I feel like he will, but, you know, it's like, this meta is not fun, hasn't been fun, and, like, the community is dwindling at this point. And ranked PvP, there's no incentive to do ranked PvP at this point. The rewards are lackluster, and I think that there could be ways to revive it. As recently as over a month ago, I uploaded a video talking about, like, what if Wiz PvP had Trophy Road, like from Clash Royale, and that would, I think, be great. You know, it's like Trophy Road, maybe throw in or like revamp the Battle Pass to be more like the Pass Royale. That, I think, absolutely could have been a good way to get people playing PvP again, because the barrier to entry is so goddamn high, and no one is trying to get over it right now. Like, that, it's a big thing. The Ghastly Conspiracy raid, which came out last summer, is like one of the most accessible raids. I think the only one that might be more accessible than Ghastly Conspiracy is probably Voracious Void, because, you know, there's drum rolls that aren't combat centric, but Ghastly Conspiracy is not the hardest raid in the game, like Crying Sky was, and it drops updated versions of the Crying Sky gear. So it's like the gear is easier to get now, but people still don't want to do it because of all of the other stuff that's going on. I mean, spell elements have just gotten, like, worse off again. I mean, I didn't even know that it was possible for them to really do that. But yeah, they somehow made the spell element system worse. I mean, like, okay, like, I'll just keep my ghouls, right? Gambit a shield for, I guess, a negative aura. But the main thing is that these spell elements are now permanent. So it's like that drove some people away and kept some people from getting into it. It's like, because the grind just amplified a ton. Like, bro, I don't know how else to describe it. It's like spell elements, gear, general knowledge of the Rochambeau system, I mean, that wouldn't take weeks to learn, I guess, but just sort of building up game sense. I mean, it's not in a good spot anymore. And I thought that I would be back by now. I really did. I said when I was quitting PvP after Darkmoor that I would be going on hiatus. I didn't want to say that I was quitting outright, because that's what I did in January of 2025, and I came back in May. So, shoot, maybe it'll just take a little longer. But from this, I quit like 5 months ago, and I have not experienced even the slightest desire to get back into it. I've barely even experienced the slightest desire to quest through Darkmoor. Like, I have maybe 4 of my characters above level 170. My others are, like, they have not moved. Like, they're all still level 170. So, yeah. I am not fully sure where this is going to go in the future. I think that PvP in this game, it may be time to pull the plug. I can't lie, because all the content creators have quit. The remaining ranked community is not happy with the state of the game, and I don't know what else to say. I mean, people are quitting and new people aren't joining. So I don't know where to go from here. I think that if it were me, I mean, are they ever going to delete ranked PvP? Probably not, because there's a lot of people, like the 20 people that still play ranked PvP all buy, like, hella packs. So, you know, it's like, can't really do much of that, or can't really disable it, but maybe just sort of, like, give it a send-off kind of update. And maybe just return it back to the state it was in before the fall of 2019, when, like, there were no PvP updates. Because it's like, if it's going to be super unfun, then why even focus on it? Let it die out. I think it's time. And, I mean, maybe I'm a pessimist. Call me a pessimist, if you wish. But I think PvP in this game, ranked PvP, has had its time in the sun, and it's not recoverable anymore. There are so many systems in this game that have become fundamental in the last few years. Spell elements, Rochambeau, raids and gear farming in that sort of sense, that you can't just walk back. And I think that's where it's going to end up. Will I return to PvP? I don't know. As of right now, I could not give you an estimate. This Diego bug is, or not even a bug necessarily, he's just not working as intended. But this whole thing with Diego being easily manipulated, it's like, jading is gone, but at what cost? You know? It's like, if they can get Diego right, maybe I'll give it a shot. But there's so much that they need to do to get their content creators back, because new content creators aren't coming up. I've seen a couple people since Darkmoor try to start uploading. Andrew Spirit is one that I've noticed on YouTube. But none of them ever really get off the ground, because the audience isn't there anymore. When Sauce quit, he kind of just took the whole audience with him. And the remainder that continued to watch after Sauce quit left after Liam and I quit, because there was a lot of crossover support between Sauce and then Liam and I. So it's not growing. It is constantly in decline. Game-breaking stuff is all over the place, and I'm not optimistic that it'll get better. If I was merciful, I would stop milking the remaining community for all of their money with new packs and whatnot, and I would just tell the PvP, like, I would just tell ranked PvP to think of the rabbits. At that point, like, bro, you might need elite ball knowledge for that. like 8th grade elite ball knowledge, let's be real. But it's time, I think. PvP either needs some massive revival project, which can be done. I have laid it out for the devs in a time when I have not been playing, because it's like there's people around that know how to bring it back, but none of them are employed at King's Island Entertainment. So yeah, I mean, it can be saved, but will it? And I think that the answer constantly is no. And I can still talk to Jordo, even though I've been walking around. Okay, RIP my connection, I suppose. I don't know if that's the Wiz servers or the fact that my roommate hasn't paid the internet bill in 2026, but we'll figure it out. I think that's a good enough time as any to, to cap this one off. So, thank y'all for watching. I have been Ice Gold. Be sure to like, subscribe, and leave like 50 comments for the algorithm. My Discord is down in the description if you want to chat with me some more. And I will see y'all later.